Hello, grade 2A. How are you? Hope everyone's okay. We are going to revise Unit 7, the Mountain Bear Adventure. So we will start from page 98. And then we will go to page 99 to answer some of the questions. The first question, we can do this with a partner, and we will find the words on the left in a dictionary. So we have here the three words like mountain, adventure, and zoo. Okay? So, if you couldn't be able to find it, then we will start answering it. We are going to draw lines to match the words to their meanings. So we have here mountain. What do you mean? The word mountain. What do you mean by this word? Anyone? Okay. So what is a mountain? A mountain is a large, steep hill. It is a large, steep hill. Okay, next word, adventure. Adventure. What is adventure? Yes, it is an exciting experience. It is an exciting experience. So we have zoo. What is a zoo? A zoo is a place where wild animals are kept for people to see. Okay. We had answered it before, so we are just revising it. Okay. I need you to write a word or phrase describing each of the animal on page 98. How are you going to describe the bear? Okay, we did answer this. And also the snake. Okay. While you're doing this, we did answer those. And in question 2, which other animals can be found in zoos? Okay, you have to write 2 or 3 here. We did answer those also. Oh, we have a lot of zoo animals like elephants, tigers, lions, and so on. And letter C question, have you read any animal stories as of now? I don't think so. Okay, working with a partner, take it in turns to explain what happens in the story. If you ever read any animal stories. Okay, we just did that last time, and so we will begin to our story for Unit 7, The Dancing Bear. We are going to read it, and we will start. Who wrote this? The Dancing Bear? It's Michael Morpurgo. Okay, let's start. Okay. Roxanne lived with her grandfather in a mountain village. One day, when she was 7 years old, Roxanne found and adopted a wild bear cub. Her school teacher remembers the day it happened. It changed all their lives. It was a Sunday morning in April. We were in the cafe before lunch. The old man was going on about Roxanne again and how she ate him out of house and home. Gone off again she has, he grumbled. Nothing but trouble, that girl. Just then, Roxanne was stuttering towards us, clutching a bear cub in her arms. with its arms wrapped around her neck. She was laughing and breathless with joy. "Bruno," she said. "He's called Bruno. I was down by the stream. I was just throwing sticks and I felt something stroking my neck. I turned round and there he was." He patted my shoulder. "He is my very own bear, Grandpa. He's all alone. He's hungry. I can't keep him, can I? Please." If we hadn't been there and half the village was there by now, I think the old man might have grabbed the bear cub by the scruff of the neck and taken him right back where he came from. "Look at him," he said. "He's half starved. He's going to die anyway. And besides, bears are for killing, not for keeping. You know how many sheep we lose every year to bears? Dozens. I'm telling you, dozens." Some people were beginning to agree with him. I looked at Roxanne and saw she was looking up at me. Her eyes were filled with tears. Maybe I was talking directly to the old man now. Just suppose you made bear labels for your honey jars. You could call it Bruno's honey. Everyone would hear about it. They'd come from miles around, have a little look at the bear, and then buy your honey. You'd make a fortune. I'm sure of it. I'd said the right thing. Roxanne's grandfather had his beehives all over the mountainside, and everyone knew that he couldn't sell even half the honey he collected. He nodded slowly as the sense of it dawned on him. "All right," he said. "We'll try it just for a while." Mind. The cage was built in the village square and Bruno moved in. Roxanne looked after him as she had promised. Then someone wrote an article about Bruno in a local newspaper, and there was a piece on the radio. People flocked to the village to see the bear, and the old man's honey sold out in a few weeks. Roxanne's grandfather was raking in the money. Roxanne took no notice of any of this. So long as Bruno was happy, she was too. She lived for the moment after school each day when she would let him out of his cage and they would run together across the fields. Often I saw them sitting together on a hillside. She'd be talking to him or singing to him, and when she sang now, she shamed even the skylarks to silence. Roxanne sang as I hope the angels sing. Years went by, and Roxanne and Bruno grew up. One day, a film crew came to the village to make a pop video for a pop star called Nikki. The director wanted Bruno to dance for the video. Roxanne refused to make Bruno dance. The first days of filming didn't go well. The director blamed everyone: the cameraman, the sound man, the weather, even at one point, Nikki. By late afternoon, he was talking of abandoning the whole project, packing up and going home. We all went home, roughly fed up and dreading doing it all again the next day. After supper, I was just going out for my evening stroll when I heard someone singing. It could only be Roxanne. No one sang like she did. She often sang to Bruno in the evenings before she said goodnight to him. The sound of her singing drew me down towards the village square. Roxanne was sitting in the cage with Bruno standing beside her, and she was singing Nikki's song. I looked across the square. Nikki was listening outside the cafe, the director behind him. The entire film crew was there too. Roxanne saw none of them. As I watched, Bruno began to sway from side to side. Then Roxanne was on her feet and dancing too. When it was over, Nikki started to clap loudly, and then everyone did. "That's girls' magic," exclaimed the director as he hurried past me. "Pure magic." He liked that word. "Did you see?" "He was dancing," said Nikki, the bear. "He was dancing." Nikki grasped the director's arm, and they stopped close by me. "I have an idea," he whispered. "Her and you together," said the director. "Go on. You go and ask her, and don't take no for an answer." I stood and watched from the shadow as Nikki walked over to the cage. Roxanne was just closing the door behind her. She turned and saw him. "You startled me," she said. "With a voice like that," said Nikki, "you shouldn't be stuck away up here." "What do you mean?" He reached out and took her hands in his. "I want to ask you a favor," he said, his voice silky soft. "I want you to sing with me, in the video." "Me?" said Roxanne. "When you sing," Nikki went on, "everyone listens." "When?" "I don't know," she said, shaking her head. "It's easy," Nikki went on. "You sing it like you did just now, but with me." He lifted her chin so that she could look him in the eyes. "You could be a star, Roxanne. You could be big, the biggest. Look what it's done for me. Everyone knows me. I've got houses all over the world. Paris, California, south of France. I've got 4 cars. I've got a plane. I can have anything I want. I can go anywhere I please. You could be the same. You could leave all this behind." "No," she said, turning away from him. "I can't leave Bruno. I won't." So grade 2A, we have the 3 vocabularies here. We have abandoning, we have blamed, and we have grasped. Okay, so all of this you are going to study, and later on I'm going to make another video for the revision of Unit 7. Okay, so we will go to another page. Okay, so right here we have the questions, and we already did answer it before. So we are going to answer these questions. Number 1, where is the story set? The story is set in a mountain village. Who is telling the story? It was Roxanne's teacher. And number 3, how does Roxanne's grandfather make money from the bear? He sells Bruno's honey. So number 4 question, what does Roxanne do after school each day with Bruno? She lets him out of the cage and ran across the fields with him. Okay, the next page. We have here the big question. Do you think Bruno is happy living in the cage? We already did write our ideas here. He has a happy life because Roxanne is kind to Bruno and does everything she can to make him happy. Okay, this is our idea. And C question, how do you think the story will end? Will Roxanne go with Nikki to become a pop star? What will happen to Bruno? So I ask you to write your ideas here. And this is my idea. Roxanne decides to go with Nikki, but that when the teacher goes to see Bruno. Just after Roxanne has left, Bruno died. Okay? So these are all from the textbook. So we will go now we will go to the workbook. Okay, this is also a story. It's a summarized one. So we are going to read it all together again. Roxanne has adopted a wild bear. A pop star called Nikki has realized Roxanne is a wonderful singer and wants her to leave her village and her bear, Bruno, behind. Roxanne's teacher tells the story. As night fell, I went off for my usual walk. I was going back towards the square when I saw Bruno pacing up and down in his cage as he always did when he was upset. I went over to him and sang a little, trying to calm him down. And then Roxanne was beside me. She put a hand on my arm. I need you to tell me what to do, she said. When they go tomorrow, Nikki wants me to go with him. I'm going to be a singer. Nikki says I sing well enough to be famous. Do you think I do? Of course you do, I said. It was an honest answer. I think I want to go, but I'm not sure. You must do what you want, Roxanne, I said. I can't tell you what to do anymore. Then I shall go. I've talked to Bruno. I've told him he understands. We were all there early the next morning and said our goodbyes to the film crew and to Roxanne. Roxanne crouched down by Bruno's cage, a battered brown suitcase beside her. She clung to the bars. I'll be back, I heard her whisper. I promise. And then she got up and came over to me, wiping the tears from her eyes. Look after him for me, she said. Then she was gone. Okay, we have the questions here. What does the teacher do to try to calm down Bruno? Okay, if we are going to return back, we are going to see the answer. So, here, the teacher, he sang a little to Bruno, trying to calm him down. Whenever he sees Bruno pacing up and down in his cage, as he always did. Okay? So he used to sing for him a little, trying to calm him down. So we have the next question. What does Roxanne promise Bruno? Roxanne promised Bruno that she will be back. Okay, the big question. So here we are going to put true. We will tick if it's true, and we'll put an X if it's false. I'm sorry about that. Okay, in big question, okay, we are going to tick if it's true and X if it's false. So, Roxanne, okay, Roxanne, here, asked her teacher what she should do. Did she ask her teacher what she should do? Yes. Okay. The teacher tells Roxanne to leave the village. Did he tell him? Did he tell Roxanne to leave the village? No. Okay. Roxanne wants the teacher to look after Bruno when she leaves. Yes, it's correct. It is true. So in letter C, we already did, answered it. How do you think Roxanne feels about leaving her village? Write your ideas. So here, I ask you to write your ideas. This is your own idea. Okay? And so that's it, grade 2A. I'm gonna make for you those revision. I'm gonna make another video for you to see the revision. Okay, just stick with me and stay safe and be ready for this quarter 4. We are now in quarter 4. That is why I need to finish the unit 7 because we have to start for unit 8. And we still have unit 9. Okay? So that's it. Goodbye till the next video. Goodbye and take care.